Morning students. Today I am going to start your chapter number 2 of chemistry class 8, that is physical and chemical change. So you can see on the screen I have written some of the different changes in real life. So first let us discuss the different changes which we see daily in our real life. What are they? For example, melting of ice into water. It is a change. Yes. Burning of paper that changes paper into ash. It is also a change. Another change, folding of a paper that changes the shape of a paper. Means, suppose you have a sheet of a paper, then you fold it or you crush it with your hand, then what happens? The shape of a paper changes. It means it is a type of a change. Then growing of a plant that turns a seed into a plant. It is also a change, as we grow a seed, but what we get a plant. Breaking of a glass that changes the form of a glass. When we break a glass, then the form of a glass is totally different from the original one. So it is also a change. Mixing of salt in water that changes the water into a mixture of salt and water. If you put some salt in water, then the water is changed into a salty water. So here you can say that all these are the different changes which we see in our real life. Now you will study how we can classify these changes into two different types. As these changes are not same, they all are different from each other. So they are classified into two types. The first one is reversible change or a physical change, irreversible change or a chemical change. So let me teach you deeply what is a reversible change. In a reversible change, it changes the form of the matter. It also changes the physical appearance of the matter, but it do not change the amount of the matter. So keep these 3 points in mind while deciding whether a change is a reversible change or not. So in a reversible change, it changes the form and the physical appearance of a matter, but it do not change the amount of matter. And also, most important, you can say that most of the physical change are reversible changes. Yes. So now I'm giving you some examples of reversible change. So we will understand it with some examples. The first one, filling a balloon with air. If you fill an air in a balloon, what happens? The shape of the balloon changes. And if you take out the air from the balloon, then a balloon can regain its original shape. So we can say that it is a reversible change. Melting of ice means changing of a solid form into a liquid form. And also a liquid form can be changed into a solid form by the method of freezing. So here we can say that it is also a reversible change in which there is no change in the form of matter and also not the physical appearance, but there is a change. Here we can say that there is a change in the form of matter and also in the change of their physical appearance, but there is no change in the amount of the matter. Yes. The third one is sharpening of a pencil. Now students, when you sharpen a pencil, then what happens? The length of the pencil reduces, means its form is changed, or the length of the pencil is changed by taking out the waste part from the pencil while we sharpen it. So, sharpening of a pencil, we can say that it is a physical change, but we cannot say that it is a reversible change. Why? As you know, while sharpening of a pencil, it reduces its length, and that length cannot be regained. Means you cannot regain the original length of a pencil again. So, remember class, it is a very important note that you know physical changes are reversible change. Yes, but most physical changes except for a few are reversible change. It means you cannot say that every physical change or every reversible change is a physical change. For example, I have given that is a sharpening of a pencil. The shape and physical appearance is changed while you sharpen a pencil, but the amount of matter do not change. It only changes the shape and physical appearance. In the same way, we can take another example which is a physical change but not a reversible change, that is cutting of an apple. Cutting of an apple is a physical change but not a reversible change. While we cut an apple, it only changes the shape, but the amount of matter is not changed. Yes, and also a cut apple cannot be regained into its original shape. Yes. Now the another example of a reversible change is making a pot out of a clay. A clay can be molded into a pot. Yes, we can make a pot from a clay, and a pot can again be made into a clay. So this is a reversible change and also a physical change. So I hope class reversible change is clear to you. Now let me explain you about the irreversible change. So here you can see in deeply we will study what is irreversible change. It changes the amount of matter in an object, as you studied in physical change, or a reversible change that it do not changes the amount of matter. Yes, but in irreversible change it changes the amount of matter, means the substance obtained after a change is entirely different. Its properties, its composition, everything is totally different from the original one. Some new types of matter is created that looks entirely different from the original matter with the new different properties. So this is an irreversible change. Now let us take some examples of irreversible change. So here you can see some examples of irreversible change. What are they? First one, burning of a paper. When we burn a paper, then what do we get? We get an ash, which is totally different from the original paper, and also the ash cannot be again changed into a paper. So it is an irreversible change. Next example, rusting of iron. When an iron gets rusted, it forms a different layer on it, which has a different properties. Yes, which is another form of a matter, the rusting of an iron. So that rusting of an iron, if you want to change it again into a pure and a clean iron, it cannot be done. So it is an irreversible change. Then burning of a candle. When a candle is burned, then you see that the length of the candle gets reduces while it is burnt. Why? Because while burning of a candle, it releases carbon dioxide and vapors, and also it reduces its length. And what do we get as a product? The melted wax. And if you want to make a candle again from a melted wax, then you will not get the same candle, the original candle back again. So this is an irreversible change. cooking of eggs, cooking of vegetables, all these are irreversible change, because once the food is cooked, it cannot be transformed or it cannot be molded again back into its original state. Yes? And the last one example is breathing by humans. While we breathe in, what do we take, students? We take in oxygen. And while we breathe out, what do we give out? Carbon dioxide. So these are the two different gases while we do during the process of breathing. So they both are totally different, and that is why it is an irreversible change. Hope with these examples the reversible and irreversible changes are clear to you. You can see and you can read the examples of reversible and irreversible change. Students, there are many more changes in real life which can be characterized or which can be differentiated into reversible and irreversible change that you can find of your own. Now let me teach you some of the characteristics of physical change and chemical change, because if you come to know about any change and you have to decide what type of change it is, then you have to keep some of the important points in mind to decide whether a change is physical or a chemical. So first we will study the characteristics of a physical change. It is a temporary change, means it can be reversed. Yes? And second is, there is a change in physical properties of a substance. Only the physical appearance is changed, means the amount of matter of a substance is not changed. The composition of a substance is also not changed. It remains the same. No new substances are produced. This change can easily be reversed. Once the change is done, then you can get your original change back again. There is no energy change, means there is no gain or loss of energy. And also there is no change in mass. The mass of a substance remains the same. So we can say that in a physical change, the properties of a substances do not change. Which properties? The chemical properties. Only the physical appearance changes. Now let us study about the characteristics of a chemical change. These characteristics are totally different from a physical change. Okay. What we studied in physical change, that they were temporary. So what is the opposite of temporary? That is permanent. So it will have the points totally opposite of physical change. So permanent changes are chemical changes. New substances are produced in chemical changes, means you cannot go back to the substance's original state. The composition of the substances change, means its chemical properties are totally different. This change can be, I think there is something wrong. Here you have to write, this change can be reversed. No, this change can't be reversed. Means we cannot go into the original change or the original state again. So they are, either you can say this change can't be reversed, or you can say they are irreversible changes. There is a gain or loss of energy, means energy changes take place in chemical change, but no energy change take place in a physical change. And the sixth point is, there is a change in a mass of the substance, means the amount of matter changes in a chemical change or in an irreversible change. So class, you have to keep in mind these characteristics of physical and chemical changes while you have to decide whether a given change is a chemical change or a physical change. So hope you have understood the topic very well. Now try to find out some more different examples from the real life And keeping in mind these characteristics of chemical and physical change, try to find or decide what type of change it is. So till then, you keep learning from your book, which is on your website, school website. So you do read it, and I'll be soon uploading the next topic of the same chapter. So do wait for it. Thank you.